What's going on, you guys? It's Cody. Welcome back to the channel. Today we're talking about 3 stocks I'm going to be buying as the market opens up later this week. It is currently Monday afternoon. The markets are closed, and I'm really excited for the markets to open up here on Tuesday morning so we can get back to all of the fun that we get to have in the market. There's 3 stocks in particular that I've been eyeing for the last couple of days, and I cannot wait to get my hands on some additional shares because after looking into these companies, I think there's going to be some very big upside, and I can't wait to get into it. So without further ado, let's jump right in. All right, this very first company has a very bright future, and I cannot wait to get my hands on some more shares of this very first company. First up on our list, we've got Nikola. No, I'm just kidding. No, we don't have Nikola up on our list. Sorry, guys. I just had to throw that in there. First up on our list, we have SoFi, which is a merger that is going to be merging with IPOE. This is an upcoming SPAC, and I'm very excited about it. I spent the last couple of days looking into this company. I've talked to some people who work at the company, and I've also been looking into different reports and articles and YouTube videos, everything about this company that I can find. And they've got a very interesting business model. I'm just going to be talking on these 3 different stocks briefly about why I like them and why I'm going to be investing in them this week. And first up, with SoFi, I think they've got a really unique proposition to become a one-stop shop for all things banking. You know, they did say in one of their reports, I think it was in their investor presentation, that a lot of people struggle with not having a one-stop shop for banking. Many people have multiple different banking accounts, usually because they don't have access to all of the services that they need at just one account, right? They might one bank. They might have one bank that handles their personal checking. They might have another bank for business checking, and they might have another bank for home loans, right? So they've got it spread out this way, and SoFi is aiming to be the one-stop shop for this type of banking. And I think they've got a very unique approach with their digital banking platform and kind of the way that they're changing this space. I think the newer age millennials and younger generations are going to be going this route more and more often into future years as they realize, look, I don't need a full-blown bank. I don't need a physical branch. And without that, SoFi isn't going to have the massive overhead that these traditional banking companies have. So with that said, I think that they've got a really unique proposition to not only get a customer in and be able to acquire them at a hopefully low cost by offering banking services, but then cross-sell them into other services along the way. They said that this is actually what sets them apart because they're going to be able to bring them in at a relatively low customer acquisition cost and then cross-sell them over to refinancing student loans or obtaining a student loan, or maybe it's a personal loan, or maybe it's into a mortgage or something like that. I think this is actually a really smart way to go about this because it gives them a much better opportunity to get customers at a lower cost and be able to offer them a one-stop shop for all of those services. Not only do they have a very strong leadership and management team, but I think they've got a really strong outlook with just the way that things are going in this digital banking, and they're looking to be the winner take most of their own space, right? You've got different companies who kind of dominate the space that they're in, right? Google with searching, with SEO. You've got Amazon with online shopping. You've got Facebook with social media. Like, you've generally got one company that kind of leads that space, and that is exactly what SoFi aims to do. I was looking at my own situation thinking, you know, would I use this service? And I do have multiple bank accounts with different banks, and I do think that that's a big plus, would be able to get it all into one place and have a one-stop shop for that. You know, as far as like going to these guys for a mortgage refinance, I don't know. I'm kind of like, yeah, I'd probably shop it there. I'd probably see what they have to offer. I don't know if I'd end up going with them just because I want to shop it around to different banks, and that's part of what comes with getting a good deal in real estate anyway. But I thought, hey, I'll just kind of, I would be willing to shop it around and see if they can beat it. And if they can, and if the service and the process of going through that is good, I think it could actually be worth it, you know, and that's something I would consider going just, you know, all in with one banking service, such as SoFi. So that's a very interesting stock. I'm going to be investing more money into this particular company. And honestly, I'm probably going to be buying some call options on this company as well. I do think that they're going to get a lot of interest over the next couple of months and going into future years. They're expecting massive customer acquisition through 2021. And I think this is really going to put some, it's going to put some rocket fuel behind them, and they're going to explode and see some massive growth over the next couple of years. And I think this will actually provide a very good play in the long run. So that's our first company. Second up, we've got CuriosityStream. This is a company I've been talking about for a while now. Ticker symbol is CURI. This is a company that has an online streaming platform that is specific to nonfiction type titles. They have over 3,000 titles in their library right now. They're aiming to get to over 11,000 within, I think, 5 years. And they're going to be blowing up massively. They've got over 50% of their subscribers outside of the US. They've got a massive reach outside of the United States. And I think this is actually where a large part of their potential business is going to come from. And I'm just touching on some of the brief points here, guys. I've already made a couple of videos on this company in depth. And so if you want to check those out, you can find them on my channel. So I'm just kind of touching on some brief points here as to why I like this company so much. I've already established a huge position, but I do want to add more, especially if the price drops. I'm going to be adding more to my position because I am so bullish on this company, and I think they've got a long way to go. So back to, some of the things that I think that they set themselves apart with is that one, the owner or the founder of the company, John Hendricks, is actually the founder of the Discovery Channel, a very similar type network, more on the traditional TV side, whereas this one is strictly digital streaming. And so I think this is going to be a very massive play because he obviously knows how to grow a TV network and be successful with it. So if he can do that on the Curiosity Stream side, on the streaming side, that's going to be a huge play and a huge leg up and advantage. He's already got a network. He's already got the money behind him. He was buying back shares of the company in December. So that shows that he's got strong faith in the company, and just a lot of good signs pointing that direction with that. So I think that Curiosity Stream has a big plus coming in the future. And yeah, they've got over 50% of subscribers outside of the United States, 50% roughly. I know it varies a little bit. Here in the United States, they've got a very low cost of entry to their streaming platform. And I think that they're going to continue to see growth into the coming years. They're not yet profitable, so that is one of the risks with this company. But I do think that given, if they can increase their prices, which streaming services tend to do over time to be able to provide for more titles and of course become profitable, I think if they do this over time, they continue getting exposure and continue getting subscribers, I think they're going to be a very successful company in the years to come. And I think this is a good play and something that I want to take a part of. The third stock that I want to buy this week is Immersion Corporation. This is ticker symbol IMMR. This stock actually doubled in just the last couple months, and I think there's a good chance it could go even a little bit further. This stock particularly doubled because of the amazing feedback that they got with their haptic technology in the PlayStation 5 controllers. And now there's rumors and reports that Microsoft and Xbox are also doing surveys and kind of, trying to get some feedback as to how important this haptic technology is and whether or not they should put it into their own controllers. I think there's a pretty good chance that Microsoft will end up doing this, and if they do, I think that's going to give another boost to Immersion. So this is kind of like a long-term swing trade for me. I'm kind of betting on the fact that Microsoft is going to come out and say, hey, we're going to be introducing this new controller with this technology. I think that there's some point, at some point in the future, maybe next year, maybe in 6 months, I don't know, but I think at some point they might come out and actually say, hey, we want to introduce something like this because we saw such significant feedback and such positive feedback from people who had experienced this with the PlayStation 5 controller. So I think that's going to be a big catalyst for this stock and this company overall, and I think this will help push the share price up. This is something I probably wouldn't hold long term, but I do want to get in and get a position built out because I do think that it could get pushed up from like the roughly $12 or $13 mark that it's at right now, and it could get up to somewhere between $15 and $20 if this news comes out and is released. So I think that's going to be a big push for this company. And, some people also say, hey, we've got some concerns about this. Is Microsoft just going to be copying them? Is Microsoft just copying the PlayStation? And, I look at this and I'm like, so what? Companies copy each other all the time, right? If they didn't, they'd go out of business, right? They'd get unhappy customers. So that's a totally moot point. Who cares if they're copying? Businesses do this all the time across all industries. Individuals do it. It doesn't matter. So that's a stupid thing to even say. If it's gonna, if it's good, if it's positive, if there's a reason why they would do it, then they definitely should, right? It's only going to increase their product. It's only going to make their product better, and that's the aim of this whole thing. So Immersion is going to be that third stock that I'm going to be buying this week. I'm going to pick up a small position in this. Like I said, it's a little bit more speculative. I'm kind of swing trading it long term based on hopefully Microsoft coming out with some good news that they're going to be introducing this haptic technology into their Xbox controllers. Now, I do have two other bonus little stocks that I'm looking at buying this week if the price is right. I would love to pick up Square. Again, if Square drops under that $220 or even $215, $210 mark, I would love to pick up some more shares of Square. This is a company I'm super bullish on. I'd love to throw a couple more shares of this into my IRA account and just let it ride for the long term. This is something that I think, this is a company that I think has a massive growth outlook, and I, only wish I could have picked up more shares earlier on when it was back in that $60, $70 range, about 9 months ago or maybe almost a year ago now. So That's going to be the first bonus stock. The second bonus stock is Shift Technologies, a used car dealership that operates online. They are a direct competitor to Carvana, and I think that this is a very speculative play that could see some massive upside if they're able to hit their sales numbers and continue increasing their margin and continue increasing the amount of cars that they're able to sell through their online platform. So again, this is a stock that has seen some ups and downs. It's kind of traded right around that $8 to $9 mark. If it drops under $8, I'd love to pick up some more shares of this. Right now, I've already got a pretty decent position size built out for the size of the company and, with my portfolio and stuff. So I don't want to add to it too much, but if it does drop under $8, I do think I would have to pick up at least a couple more shares relative to my overall portfolio. So with all that being said, guys, thank you so much for watching. Give me a thumbs up here on the video if you enjoyed this content. Don't forget to get your free stocks using the Webull link down in the description below. And while you're there, drop a comment and let me know what stocks and companies you're going to be looking at this week and which ones you're thinking about buying. With all that said, catch you in the next one.